The 50-30-20 budget rule, a simple way to take control of your money. Managing money is one of the most important life skills, yet it is also one of the most overlooked. Many people work full-time, receive a paycheck, pay their bills, buy what they need, and still end up wondering where all their money went by the end of the month. This experience is extremely common. The problem is not always how much money someone earns, but how that money is organized and managed. Without a clear system, spending becomes reactive instead of intentional. One of the simplest and most effective ways to fix this problem is the 50-30-20 budget rule. The 50-30-20 budget rule is a straightforward method that divides your after-tax income into 3 categories: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and financial goals. It is popular because it removes complexity. Instead of tracking every dollar in dozens of categories, it provides a clear structure that anyone can follow. To understand how this works in real life, imagine a person earning $4,000 per month after taxes. This is a common income level for many full-time workers in the United States. Under the 50-30-20 rule, this income is divided into $2,000 for needs, $1,200 for wants, and $800 for savings and debt repayment. At first glance, this may seem simple, but the real value of the system becomes clear when it is applied to everyday life. The first category, needs, represents the essential expenses required to maintain basic living standards. These include rent or mortgage payments, groceries, utilities, transportation, insurance, healthcare, and minimum debt payments. These are the expenses that cannot realistically be avoided. For example, consider someone living in a modest apartment in a California suburb. Rent alone might cost around $1,300 per month. Groceries could average $350. Utilities such as electricity, water, and internet might total around $150. Transportation, including gas or public transit, might cost $120, and a phone bill could add another $80. When combined, these basic necessities already approach $2,000 per month. This is where many people begin to realize an important truth. Essential living costs often consume a much larger portion of income than expected. It is also where the distinction between needs and wants becomes extremely important. For instance, having a phone is a need in modern society, but upgrading to a new expensive model every year is a want. Transportation is necessary, but owning a luxury vehicle or paying for high-end upgrades often falls into the category of lifestyle choices rather than essential needs. Understanding this difference is one of the most important steps in building financial awareness. Many people unknowingly classify wants as needs, which leads to overspending and financial imbalance. The second category, wants, includes all non-essential spending that improves quality of life but is not required for survival. These include dining out, entertainment, streaming services, shopping, hobbies, vacations, and leisure activities. Contrary to popular belief, a successful budget does not eliminate enjoyment. Instead, it creates structure around it. For example, imagine someone who buys coffee every morning before work. At $5 per coffee and 5 days per week, this habit costs about $100 to $120 per month. Individually, each purchase feels small and insignificant. However, over time, these small expenses accumulate into meaningful amounts of money. This is one of the most important psychological aspects of personal finance. People rarely feel the impact of small daily spending, but they experience the consequences at the end of the month. Under the 50-30-20 rule, this coffee spending is not eliminated. Instead, it is included within the wants category. The individual can still enjoy it, but now with awareness and intention rather than impulse. This shift from unconscious spending to intentional spending is what makes budgeting effective in the long term. The third category, savings and financial goals, represents the foundation of long-term financial security. This portion is typically 20% of income and is allocated toward emergency savings, retirement accounts, investments, or additional debt repayment. For someone earning $4,000 per month, This means setting aside $800 each month. Although this may seem difficult at first, the long-term benefits are significant. Savings create financial protection and reduce stress during unexpected situations. For example, imagine a car suddenly breaks down and requires a $1,000 repair. Without savings, this situation can quickly become stressful and financially damaging. The person may need to rely on credit cards, loans, or delayed payments, which can lead to long-term debt. However, if an emergency fund is already in place, the same situation becomes manageable. The expense is covered immediately, and life continues without major disruption. The problem still exists, but the financial panic is eliminated. This is why financial experts often describe emergency funds not just as money, but as stability and control. A simple comparison between two individuals illustrates the long-term impact of budgeting. Two people may earn similar incomes, but one follows a structured budget while the other spends without planning. Over time, the differences become clear. The individual with no budget often accumulates debt and struggles with unexpected expenses. The individual who follows a structured system builds savings, gains financial confidence, and experiences less stress. The difference is not income. It is behavior. Despite its simplicity, the 50-30-20 rule is not without challenges. One common mistake is failing to track actual spending. A budget is only effective if it is monitored regularly. Another mistake is ignoring irregular expenses such as insurance payments, holidays, car maintenance, or annual subscriptions. These costs may not appear monthly, but they still affect financial stability. Another common issue is unrealistic expectations. Many people attempt to make drastic financial changes too quickly, such as cutting all discretionary spending at once. While this may work temporarily, it is rarely sustainable. Gradual improvements tend to produce better long-term results. The strength of the 50-30-20 rule lies in its simplicity. Many budgeting systems fail because they are too complicated and difficult to maintain. This method, on the other hand, provides structure without overwhelming the individual. It is flexible enough to adapt to different income levels and living situations while still maintaining a clear framework. However, it is important to understand that the percentages are guidelines rather than strict rules. People living in high-cost cities may spend more than 50% on needs, while others may be able to save more than 20%. The purpose of a system is not perfection, but awareness and direction. Ultimately, budgeting is not about restriction. It is about control. When people understand where their money is going, they gain confidence in their financial decisions. They reduce stress, avoid unnecessary debt, and move steadily toward their goals. The 50-30-20 budget rule provides a simple but powerful starting point for building better financial habits. It teaches balance between present needs, present enjoyment, and future security. Financial success is rarely the result of one major decision. Instead, it is the result of consistent small choices repeated over time. The 50-30-20 rule helps turn those choices into a system that anyone can follow. And that is what makes it such an effective foundation for financial stability. In the next video, I will cover grocery budgeting in real life. If this video helped you understand budgeting better, subscribe to Budget and Build for more beginner-friendly finance tutorials.